This is Outdoor Lore. Come outside with us as Andrew, Luke, and our family and friends go outside and create memories, stories, and traditions that will be passed down for generations. Welcome to Outdoor Lore.
Welcome to Outdoor Lore.
Outdoor Lore.
What's up?
Roll.
Luke and Andrew here. We're about 100 miles in to our trip from Virginia to Vermont.
You're about 100 miles. I'm about 600 miles.
That's right.
Because I'm coming from the swamp plains.
Well, people,
Uh,
Andrew lives down in South Carolina.
Charles.
Drove up late last night to Virginia. And we left at 0:30 for Vermont. We're going to meet with my uncle
We're
and
in
his buddy.
Delaware now.
We're fixing to cross the Delaware. We're just about to.
Fixing across the Delaware. In honor of George Washington.
Thank you,
We're driving a little too fast,
Don't worry about that.
but we'll be alright. Weather's been weird. It's unseasonably warm. The expectation for this trip was to get up there and have fresh snow every morning. Track bucks in the snow.
We're going to Maine. That's the end destination. I don't think you said that.
Yeah, almost Canada, Jackman, Maine.
All down the hill, you start speaking French.
Yeah. Don't turn left, you end up in Montreal. Nobody wants that.
Don't put that email on.
But like I said, unseasonably warm. So we're gonna have to learn and adapt on the fly. I definitely feel super unprepared. Never hunted like this at all before. Trying to make up for knowledge with just grit and gur, as Luke
Right.
says.
Grr.
So we'll get out there and get in the woods, put the miles on.
The plan was tracking, but it looks like it's going to be one, a little bit warmer, and two, maybe not snow. So we got stand. I got stand for him. I got my saddle stuff. So if there's no snow and we're not just gonna wear our boots out for nothing,
Listen.
we're not seeing something.
These boots were made for walking. So I got no trouble putting the miles on. So be alright though.
The GPS says we're 5.5 hours from Vermont. Expect to get there around 1:30. We're doing 85. We're gonna back that up.
Yeah, we're not
Back it up.
85 in a 1985 truck. Seems like a bad idea.
We're 2 minutes out.
Minutes out, and I'm almost out of seats.
Perfect timing.
Love it. We just got here. We're 1,000 miles in. About 15 minutes out of the truck. And Luke's like, let's go shoot. Because he's scared. He doesn't want to miss.
That's
Oh, blame him. He's missed before.
Missed before, missed often.
Before. He's missed again. So,
It's worth practicing.
we're in shambles here, folks. Bill of my hat was hitting the scope.
That's gonna be a problem for you. I have to cut that hat down.
I'm going iron sight, so bear with me here.
Dead deer.
That makes me feel real good about it.
Okay, so I'm just gonna use the scope pride.
If you can.
If I can, I'm gonna try to default to the
But
scope.
I mean,
How low does the scope go?
It's no variable. It's a low zoom scope.
Fixed, like 2
It's
or
fixed,
4.
like probably 2.5, 3.
That's usually good.
What you got to say?
We made it to Jackman. Got our cabin behind us. Yeah. So we're gonna go out and scout for some deer and hopefully find some good sign and
Come on, you bears.
get on them barrel bucks.
Come on.
So Andrew's been spending the last 15 minutes fighting with his knockers.
It's not that I'm not smart. It's just that I'm dumb. I haven't worn a bra in a while.
Yeah, if we can get either side, just, well, even in the ruts is okay here because we're going downhill, but we need to. You know, that's something.
We can do the wolf when we get out to the road.
That's something to remember. If it had been frozen, say we came in here tomorrow morning, frozen ground, you wouldn't spin a tire.
And then,
And then we go downhill and it warms up, you're not coming out.
That's true.
You lived out there now.
It's till night.
Now,
Hopefully, I'll be able to wash some of that mud out of the tread.
yeah, I mean, you don't want to gun it, but you don't want to go too slow either.
I think the rule I learned for off-road driving there is more power.
Our first day here
Fell in the water. Oh,
first day here in Jackman's done.
I didn't fall in the water.
He didn't actually fall in the water.
I'm packing mine if I fell in the water, of course.
We did some scouting. Didn't see a lot of deer signs.
Saw some deer sign.
Andrew and I found one track in the snow or in the mud. It's like a fawn track.
One of those
Just a Jake deer.
Landon deer.
Jake,
Yeah.
Jake would be fired up. He'd be on that track.
Yeah, he'd be out there right now.
Yeah, that is tender sweet meat.
Right.
So he'd be fired up about that, but we're not. We're big buck guys.
Well, I'm kind of more like a sit in the cold kind of guy.
Yeah, it's
Personal.
cool. I'm a big buck guy. So gonna eat some dinner and pretty much go to bed real quick. Any final words, Andrew?
There's so much land. There's so many places for the deer to hide. But like I've said before, what I lack in knowledge, I'm gonna be beating my feet and putting the miles on it. So we're gonna run the deer down. That's what's gonna happen.
Run them down. I'm a little worried. I think we saw, 20 trucks today, and it's not even a hunting day. It's just a scouting day. So I'm a little worried about that. I think we're going to see a lot of other hunters out there. And there's plenty of land. It's just we're going to have to find the spot where the other fellas aren't. So we'll see what happens in the morning. Good night.
Hasta la vista.
Welcome back to Outdoor Lore. After 2 days of travel, including a quick pit stop in Vermont to link up with Uncle Eric and his good buddy Jody, we're in northern Maine, Jackman, Maine. The goal of this hunt is to locate, track, and harvest a big-bodied northern buck. The kicker, neither Luke or I have any experience with this style of hunting or tracking. Right from the onset of this trip, we said if any of the 4 of us are successful, the trip as a whole will be a success. By the end of our 6-day hunt, all 4 of us had covered anywhere from 60 to 70 miles on foot, most of that being through deep snow. With that being said, let's get into our first day's hunt. For our first day, we headed out to a piece of land about 5 miles outside of town Jody and Eric had scouted in the spring.
You only got about,
An inch.
yeah, not much.
You don't have much.
Isn't it nice to have young bucks? The Jeep I'd just charged through. Don't get yourself too wet, Andrew.
Yeah.
He's halfway.
As you can see, very icy conditions led to a later start than ideal. Then was off into the woods with us.
It's November 20th, Maine, and going into the woods to try and find a track. See if we can get on something here.
After slowly moving through the first block of land with little more than a few old doe tracks and a massive amount of moose sign, Luke and I met up on a track that Eric spotted a few miles down the road, where he offered to let us try to run
We
it
just
down.
picked up this small track. Well, Eric found it, and Andrew's gonna take it and see where we go. We'll just follow behind him. He's on it. Still good?
Yeah.
Okay.
Look who that is. That's right there.
Could be.
It's like it. I don't have this.
Look. Okay, go ahead. There's some browse here too. Look, Andrew. I don't know how old it is, but
That?
no, it's right there.
Yeah. His head was on.
You got it?
No, no.
Right up there.
We ended up tracking this buck for another 3 hours and probably close to around 5 miles, back and forth across several logging roads, down through a swamp. We even tracked him through several old scrapes and a few beds. In hindsight, this deer could have been 2 or 3 days ahead of us. despite that, it was a really good first track. And with that being said, I'm going to cut back in here and show you where we sort of started to lose them. We stayed with him for a little while longer, but as you can see, the sun's starting to go down, and he crosses this last road, and you'll see it. I say it in a little bit here, but it starts to look like the tracks are getting older and older, and he's walking down into a swamp. We really start to struggle after that.
Yeah, it's got to be him, right?
Him, right?
It's got to be. If that's him, then this is a big doe over here.
Is there?
Oh, right here.
Yep.
Here.
Oh. Yeah. Yeah. See it right now. I don't know why it feels like the track isn't there though.
He's walking backwards.
He figured this out. You see?
No.
We spent about the last 3 hours, maybe 2.5, on the track with a good buck. The snow was intermittent at best. So it's probably 70% tracking, 30% looking for tracks.
Yeah. But we stayed with that buck for 2.5 miles.
Yeah, since we ate lunch.
Yeah.
Stayed with him. Tracked him to this logging trail. And the snow ran out. And then we have no idea where he went. So we're gonna sit for a little bit, probably till dark. There's a little clear cut over here. As you know, my boots are still full of water. We just put a bunch of miles on, so I'm not sure if it's sweat or water. But I'm gonna take my boots off again and wring them out, maybe change my socks. And then we're gonna sit here till dark. Wow, I can't even speak. We're gonna sit here until dark. And then walk back to the truck. I think it's like 2 miles back to the truck.
Sounds good. We like this spot though. The wind is blowing from this way. So, out of that stuff, we anticipate any bucks that are scent checking. We'll be scent checking coming this way to scent check that bedding over there. Andrew's gonna bring his socks up. Oh, nasty. Nasty.
It's poop colored.
That's good. That's good. That'll keep the deer from
Right?
smelling human. Ugh. Yeah, you're squeezing it out of the insulation and stuff.
Yeah.
All right, we're going to be quiet now. We've only got another hour or so.
The next day, we had a nice fresh dusting of snow, and we decided to start the day in the same general area we finished the night before. We ended up striking out, and after lunch, we moved further north, all the way up near the Canadian border, about 3 miles as the crow flies. And that's where we're going to pick up day 2.
The answer is
All right, checking in. It's like almost 2 o'clock, and we are up by the Canadian border now. We've moved pretty dramatically. Canada's right over there.
no, that way.
No.
That way.
That way?
That way.
Right over there,
We
apparently.
keep going over this mountain when we get to Canada.
Okay. Well, we just climbed up this mountain, and we're almost to the top of it, chasing a buck we call Steve the Ridge Runner. We hadn't even encountered a track yet when we named him, but he comes out of right here, working into the wind, and he hits a scrape right here. The thing that gives me hope on this buck, first he's got big tracks, but also this licking branch is 6 feet tall. So Andrew's going to get on this track. I'm going to stay up the mountain, and it seems like we're working that way. So got a bunch of doe tracks coming up this hill. Andrew's feet are worn out. He's got 800 grain insulation.
I've got 12-pound boots on.
12-pound boots on. But he's going to get on this buck track. I'm going to go up further, and maybe I run into Steve's grandpa on a higher scrape line. So,
yeah.
All right. Good luck. If we We're not gonna have any signal, so if you get to dark, just meet back at the truck.
Yeah, I'm gonna pee.
All right, I'm gonna hike.
If I lose it, I might have you start circling in front of me.
All right, well,
I don't know how far up above you you're gonna go.
I'm gonna go to the top or until I find something else. Give me an owl hoot if you need help.
As Luke walks up this mountain here, clearly there's footprints in the snow already. This is because we're actually hunting in the middle of a big maple syrup sapline operation, and someone had been up to the top of the mountain and definitely back down as well, well before we got there that day. Although we didn't get any good footage of it, I almost ended up getting a buck right before nightfall. While Luke was walking up this hill, I'm actively tracking a buck in circles down below him. When it eventually intersects with Luke's boot tracks, I falsely assumed that meant Luke was on the deer. However, the deer was backtracking him and was somewhere in between he and I, meaning that the deer was no more than 5 to 10 minutes away from either of us at that point in time. Not knowing that, however, I gave up the hunt and didn't want to bump the deer off of him, so I backed off and sat for a little while. After sitting till about 30 minutes prior to last legal shooting light, I started working back down the mountain towards that original location where we had seen the scrape. I ended up finding a scrape slightly higher up the mountain than originally. I crouched down and took a look at it and took some photos, which you can see here. Then I started back down the mountain again. Not 15 yards from where that scrape was, I heard a giant deer running down the mountain. I jumped it maybe 30 yards to my right and never had a shot. That was one of the closest moments that we had to success early in the hunt here.
All right, you're left.
All right. So it's Wednesday. It's about 6:20. We got, what'd you say, 5 inches of snow last night?
3 or 4 at least. It depends on the wind.
Older snow. The wind is howling. Last night, 3 minutes after last shooting light, jumped a big old buck over here. Footsteps sounded like hooves of a horse.
And it was just off the track that you just lost.
Just off the track that I just lost.
We're on them up here. We're just under 2 miles from the Canadian border here, I think. So if we're gonna jump them, we gotta run them left to right, away from the border, because this property actually does, like the next landowner, Canadian border. So we're going up as high as we can, and then I think we're gonna cut across the ridge, and hopefully we find something. In this wind and snow, if we find a track, we're within probably 10-15 minutes of it. So low probability that we cut a track, but if we cut one, we're gonna be on them like right then. Also, with this so much snow, I mean, we can't look to our left because the wind's blowing that way, but we can see out 100 yards to the right, and just kind of keeping an eye out there because it'd be easy for a buck or anything to be moving through there. All right, we're gonna turn it off for a while till we get on something. It's about 7:30. We're about maybe 2.5 miles in. Haven't cut a track yet. We had to get off that Maple Syrup Road. We felt like we were getting pretty close to Eric and Jody if they were on kind of the same pace. Or even close to the same pace as us. So we kind of are circling this mountain. We're almost at the peak now, but we were, for a while, we were down just off the ridge. And now we're up at the peak. We're gonna go around it towards the Canada side and kind of circle back where we came from. I cut a Christmas tree for the girls. But it's a Got about 8 inches of snow in some places, 6 in others.
Okay.
Oh,
We're at the top. It's like 30 miles per hour sustained wind.
yeah.
More gusts.
But, I mean, we could see down into that pretty well.
You go that way.
Yeah.
Maybe we ride the top.
Well, it looks steep right there. I don't want to duck off of that.
I want to pee off it though.
Directly towards Canada?
Yeah. Screw you, Trudeau.
Careful, he'll freeze your bank accounts.
Yeah.
All
On
right.
his last face. And rob all my money. Hi.
It seems like he'd play Peter Pan if he was taking plays. Probably has like CP on his computer.
I think he'd play Twinkerbell.
All right. Sorry, Trudeau, for those salacious allegations.
I'm not. They're not gonna do anything about it.
Andrew forgot his water. So we've got
A bit of a blunder to be 2.5 miles up the top of a mountain in snow that's come down at about 1 inch an hour. Half a mile from the Canadian border.
surrounded by water with no water. Now, you know what they say.
White water in the morning.
White water in the morning. So we've filled our bottle up with snow and it's under my armpit right now. Andrew looks like he's gonna make some lemon snow. I'm gonna start hiking. Jump this buck up here probably. We'll be back. Hopefully with a buck. So I'm just walking quiet through this. I don't know these Maine deer. But I do know in Virginia, cedar or whatever this is, some sort of spruce maybe. Deer will tuck in underneath that, especially doves. And snow. I'm seeing some browsing sign up here. All this stuff. I think we're in an area that's got deer. Truth be told, I wouldn't be shocked if there's deer bedded within 100 feet of us right now, just looking at us. I don't know why they jump unless we stepped on them, though. We never find them.
Alright, what we got going on, Luke?
Snow is what we got going on. We gotta be 3.5, 4 miles into our hike by now. We gotta get pretty close to camp, so we gotta make sure if we're tracking a buck, tracking back towards freedom.
Good.
Sandwich for now.
Just kicked up some grouse. Probably 3 or 4 of them. We're sort of at the top. We're kind of working our way back along the Canadian border, southwest now.
Well, on the border, but it's about a mile.
About a mile. Alright, let's eat some lunch.
Breakfast.
After eating lunch, Luke and I cut back down the mountain to try to sneak through some prime bedding areas that we had seen on Onyx the night before. This area is down at the base of the mountain, paralleling a large stream and the highway that we came in on. It doesn't take very long before we pick up some very fresh tracks.
We're obviously on something. Yeah. We're close. live chili bait.
Luke and I ended up tracking these few deer for probably a mile and a half together until they ended up intersecting with another set of deer where Luke split off and followed them and I tracked the original ones. We ended up doing a full circle right back across our own tracks 2 or 3 times where they were just running a loop around us. Eventually, I ended up tracking my set of deer to a bedding area. I had a doe in my sights, but I couldn't see the buck, and by the time I found the doe, she was staring right at me, and they spooked, and I was never able to catch up to them again. I did track them to a couple of more bedding areas, which I'll show right here, but they ended up jumping before I could ever see them again. And Luke tracked his as well, pretty far, almost until nightfall. He tracked his all the way across a river and then back across that same river again, where he was close enough that he could smell the deer but not see them. And he just ran out of light and was way back in the same general vicinity that Jody was hunting, but never ended up with any luck.
Well, I walked past where Jody was standing, and he wasn't there. So, I guess it wasn't him. Might have been on the other side, but sure did sound pretty close. Hopefully whoever it was got their deer. That'd be pretty cool. Probably. Well, happy Thanksgiving, everybody. It's November 23rd, 2023. It's also my brother's birthday. Happy birthday, Jake. We are again up near Canada and trying a new spot. I'm a mile, just over a mile in on this old road. These alders are absolutely obnoxious hanging out over the road. It snow's deep, you don't want to walk through it if you don't have to. We're looking for just about anything here. Past a doe and a fawn. Looks pretty old. But once we get up here, if we find something, we're probably going to get on it. In an area that's got some much steeper elevation today. Not that far from where we were yesterday. Just up against some bigger mountains. There's a big mountain off to my left, and a big mountain off in front of me, which can't be seen right now, but they're there. Switching sides of the road around these alders. It's real annoying. See, the GoPro battery is only at 13%. I got another one, but I guess it didn't charge last night. So I'm going to turn it off for a while. Well, that old doe started going back up the hill. I'm just not doing it right now. It's a big old buck I'd chase it. I've done a big circle, come back out of where I hit the last road. So I'm going to walk down my old back tracks and see if there's any new prints on it. I'll go back to the truck and have a sandwich. I'm already 5-something miles in, and I got 2 miles to the truck. But putting it on today. Hopefully Andrew and Jody killed something. Good morning. It's November 24th. Beautiful morning. Cold, windy, snowing a little bit. It's supposed to go really, really cold today. Like into the low teens by the end of the hunt. My knee's acting up pretty bad, so kind of taking it slow, walking this logging road. I've found a couple tracks, nothing fresh, nothing that fired me up to go after. It's gotta be pretty close if I'm gonna catch it today. I'm just moving a little slower. But one day, Andrew and I tracked a buck down through this, and he ended up going down this logging road. It's a pinch point between a pond on the left and a nasty swamp on the right. So my plan is just gonna slowly hike up there, get the wind in my face, and hunt that pitch point for an hour or so. And after that, there's a pinch point up on the mountain a little bit. When I say mountain, it's a hill. It's like the pinch is maybe 1,600 feet, and the points above it are 1,750, 1,800 feet. So I'm hoping that big old buck crosses between one of these places. I want to track up here. Let's see what this is. This could change my plans. Oh, why did I fall in the water? Nope, wrong species. Moose everywhere out here. Saw my first 2 deer in Maine yesterday. That was cool. Also saw 2 moose. 2 deer I saw were does, and one of them was the Lizzo of does. Huge, huge body. The other one, I guess, could have been a little buck. I didn't see any antlers, so. But it was much smaller. I don't know, just keep going. Find something here before too terribly long.
On both days 4 and 5, most of our time once again was spent just looking for tracks. We did find some, but they seemed to be old and or moving faster than we could keep up in such deep snow. You can see here in the footage just how cold and snowy it really was, really the entire trip.
What would you like to know?
What's the plan today? What are we doing?
So, it's last day. You haven't seen me in a while. We haven't been hunting together. It's been a lot of walking in the woods, not much shooting at deer yet. It's Saturday morning, back on the Canada side. It's about 4 degrees.
Before the wind chill.
Yeah, before wind chill.
Feels like negative
We're
2
gonna,
or 3.
the plan for today is put the hammer down, as it is for every day. So we're gonna do a lot of walking, a lot of pushing, and then as the day gets later, we're gonna start working our way back. Not track anything that's coming back towards the truck.
A lot of buck dragging today.
We've done a lot of tracking of does and little bucks, and it's all been for naught thus far.
It's slammer time.
By day 6, we were both pretty whooped, and as you can see me walking up this hill here, this was the deepest snow and the coldest temperatures that we had dealt with all week. But we were pretty motivated, so we climbed up this hill here, and to start the day, once we got to the top of the ridge, we were up above a really nice bedding area that Jody had seen tracks in before. So we stopped at the top of the hill and sort of just looked down and waited until the sun came up above us before we went down, where we ended up picking up some tracks that you'll see here in a little bit.
What we think is a decent buck. We're way, way out here. We're kind of to the point where, lunchtime is going to be our cutoff to be able to get a deer back. So we think we're about an hour behind this buck. We're not going to be sure though. You can see it's pretty fresh. So we're going to Keep pushing on it. And if we jump at one time, we'll slow down. But it's so hot, we don't think we're going to be able to just sneak up into this deer's bed. So it might be a chase. Be good if we get the chase to go towards the truck. We're still on this deer and we think he's pretty fresh. We don't know exactly how fresh. Our problem now is for 1 mile from the border, we're headed straight at it. So we've decided to push hard. We're at least going to see this deer. Hopefully. And if we don't get him, we'll blame it on Tecumseh. Helping those French fellas establish a country and whatnot. Oh, I don't love this. You look doing that. Keep pushing. Pretty big track. A couple times we found where he stepped in the water and it's been frozen or semi-frozen. That's impossible for us to judge. It's 4 degrees. Probably colder up here. Our water bottles freeze shut as soon as we break them open and take a sip. Gotta stay on it. I don't understand where this deer's going. He's just cruising without us, but no sense of direction. I feel like we just gained some ground on him. I don't think he stopped. I think we just caught him a little bit. It's really hustling. Everything seems even fresher now. He's definitely looking for does. He's jumped on 4 or 5 different doe tracks before abandoning them. Feels like we're pretty close. Okay, this is absolute crunch time. We're about 300 yards from the border. We're still on this buck and he's chasing does, looks like. Our problem is, even if we jump him here and shoot him here, does he stop running before the border? We're gonna keep all the way to the end. If we get to the border and he crosses, we'll probably wait a little while, see if he comes back. And this is gorgeous. And then try and start still hunting our way back to the truck. He's still right here.
So we just tracked a buck since like what, 7:30?
Yeah, just after.
About 3.5, 4 miles up a mountain. It's like 6 degrees outside, and that is the Canadian border. So we'll walk into a little bit, and I declare this land to be my land. This land is your land. This is America now. Screw you, Canada. USA, 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 USA. Come on.
They took our deer.
They did.
So bummed.
But check that out. How beautiful is that? This is the tracks we were following for miles and miles and miles.
I wonder if there's a place we could get like a drive-through ribeye.
Drive-through ribeye?
Drive-through ribeye would be pretty strong.
Ribeye on the go?
Son, if I could drive through it and get like a
Like a ribeye and a
prime
nice like
cut,
dark amber ale for the
medium,
road.
medium rare. Oh
Just
man,
kidding.
they probably have to cut it for me. That way I'm not using a steak knife while I'm driving. Airbags and steak knives are frowned upon.
Well, if it's
Son, you know what?
tender enough, you could just cut it with a fork.
No, you just pick it up. You pick that.
Okay, so tomahawk
Okay.
with the bone in.
Yeah, it's meat with a handle.
That's right.
God's plan.
God's plan. God did. Welcome to Canada.
Canada sucks. Canada.
Call me Ryan Reynolds. Welcome to Canada.
Canada stole our buck. There's some French talker over there about to shoot.
Parlez-vous, respondez-vous, s'il vous plaît. Whoa. Just walking through the woods.
Yeah, we're not trying to be quiet now, are we? I guess.
No, we're sure not.
Nope, we're on track.
Back in the game, boys.
This one's going to America.
This is one of them bucks that bleeds red, white, and blue.
Hold on. Let me check our... Dude, sick move.
See that, bro?
Was that our best track?
Weather outside.
Was that our best track? Biggest buck, right?
I feel like biggest buck we were closest to for the longest.
I mean, you were close to that one that you jumped, but...
Yeah, but it was dark.
Right. I feel like two things could have changed this track. One, it didn't get on that deer highway.
We
Two,
never bet.
no, two, Canada didn't exist.
Yeah, Canada doesn't exist. We kill all the deer.
Or Joe Biden built a wall.
Yeah, like he said he would.
Did he say that? I don't even think he said that.
I think that was a campaign promise.
No.
I declare that I shall build a contiguous wall between the evil Canada and the pure and righteous United States.
Is that what he
Pretty
said?
sure that's what he said.
Look at the size of that deer.
That's
That's what we call a bull moose.
as big as a moose. That deal. I think we need to go more right.
We do. It looks real swampy though. All right.
After tracking the buck roughly 3.5 miles from where we first picked up its tracks, we had a 4-mile hike back to the truck. I will let some of the footage roll here in the background, but the first 2 miles of this hike back was through some of the thickest woods we had seen all week. Combined with pretty mountainous terrain and deep snow, by the time we made it all the way back to the highway, which you'll see in a little bit here, it was already almost about 1 o'clock in the afternoon. Once we had made it all the way back to the truck, it was nearing 3 o'clock in the afternoon, and Luke and I were sprawled out on the ground, waiting and thinking about what we should do prior to meeting up with the other guys. All told, in the day we had put in 8 miles already. When Eric walked up, he got a pretty good laugh at the sight of us all sprawled out on the ground. It being our last day, we were going back and forth debating on whether or not we should hunt until last light or go back to camp and get a jump on packing before a long drive home the next day. That is when Jody walked up. He goes, "I have good news and I have bad news. What do you want?" We go, "Give us the bad news." He goes, "I lost the clip to my gun. I backtracked my steps, I looked all over, and I can't find it." He takes a long pause, and we're all sitting there waiting for the good news, and we finally go, well, what's the good news? And he goes, oh, well, I need some help dragging out my buck. And up like a shot, we all jumped and started marching off into the woods, and that's where we'll pick back up.
There he is.
Turn that boat around. Well, I've certainly seen smaller 4-pointers.
Yeah, that's a big 4-pointer. Congratulations, Jody.
I had to wait for them to clear. But, you know, if he's taken 1 or 2 steps, he'd have been gone. Yep.
Andrew, grab the other end of him.
All right, I'll let the bucks do it. The bucks can take the buck.
1, 2, 3.
Get inside. Maybe grab his head down. Yeah.
It's a big 4-pointer.
It's a big 4-pointer.
So you guys went down to here. This is where I saw the buck and the doe. That was on Wednesday, and that's where that nice little opening is.
Yeah.
And I shot him up here.
Okay.
And you guys had gone
Way out.
way out. That's how far I'd gone out before.
Yeah.
So
Wow. Oh, you can smell him.
You were dragging him along this for how long?
I can tell you.
Shot at 9:30.
I know.
It's
that's
2:30.
crazy. Well, probably I would say, you know, 10 by the time I filled out my tag and all that, I would say since 10:30 anyway.
Congratulations.
Thank you.
You should be proud of yourself.
Yeah.
Impressive deer.
That's amazing.
Impressive
Last
conditions.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Why don't we give a quick thanks,
Yeah.
Father, for this day, for this week, for friends and family, for safety and for success. We give thanks. Help us to hold together until we get back to the cabin. For your many blessings, the beauty around us. The fact that as we look at this crazy world, we know that none of this surprises you. We're just keep us in your care and bring us safely. In Jesus' name.
Amen. And for the biggest 4-pointer I've ever seen.
Sure.
Yeah,
Jody,
that's no Virginia 4-point.
I shot a 9-pointer, the biggest deer I've ever shot. That body wise, that dressed 165, and he looks about the same.
Yeah, I'm
As
thinking
this,
this
I think-
162 is going to be my guy.
I think you're right in there. That's
Easy.
just a slammer.
Yeah, that's a
Congratulations.
boy.
He was short, stocky deer, but I mean, I was shocked because I didn't have my clip and I had the foot went in. I was shocked. Like I said, I kept walking and walking, no tracks, no tracks, no tracks, and then
There he
he was
was.
standing there looking at me. So he was hurt.
Should have brought a light cap. Oh well. I think you've done your
I'll pull
share
first.
of dragging.
Yep.
I'll drag first.
It looks like a 2-man pull.
We can team drag.
Yeah, you might probably be able to use
The hitch here. I think this is probably.
Well,
Well,
we are. I want to see how easy it is doing it this way.
We'll go a little gap.
There's a lot of heft to him.
You can put.
I wouldn't be surprised if he's over 160.
He looks like 160 to me. I think it's a good guess.
Well, you just checked a 140. What was he? 141.
141.
Yeah. So
Yeah, he's just a
got
young
pretty-
deer, you know.
Yeah, mine was skinnier and way longer. Way skinnier and way longer. He was like a 6'3", 14-year-old. You know, that was 120. You know, in people. All right, I'll find if somebody wants to help me with this. Yeah, I would get him in. I would get him in the path. He's a good buck.
He's a good buck. You should be proud of yourself. You've hunted hard.
Tell you, works long.
Yeah, you've hunted hard. That's the best 4-pointer I've ever seen. I mean, he's what, at least 15 inches wide on a 4-pointer?
Yeah,
You said he's a forky, a 4-pointer. I was like, all right. Nope, that's a.
I'm pretty sure it's the one I cast.
Really?
On Wednesday, yeah. I mean, it was blinding snow and. But,
Yeah.
You know, it looked like it could have been 10 bucks. Everybody's moving the food scale. Turned around, we can't even read it. What the hell is it? Yeah, it goes over time. Starts spinning the wrong way. Let's see. 163.
Wow, you give it to the pound. Wow.
That's a pretty good guess. Yeah, nice deer. He dragged it. He knows what it was.
Yeah. All right, we're into the end of our trip. Final synopsis pre-road trip home. What have you got to say?
Well,
So
ridiculous without a headband. Let me put my headband.
the coolness factor, way up with a headband. Never take it off.
All right.
Headband Luke is prime Luke.
All right. So Maine is legit. It's beautiful country. It's awesome. I feel a little bit bad for the people that are here because they have to be here all the time.
Right. Like
They don't get to come visit. Like they actually have to exist in this area.
in other words, why would you live here?
The chain gorgeous. It's just you want to visit. You don't want to live here. Hunting.
Sort of like the crazy girl from college.
I'm gonna skip that.
Okay.
Hunting is hard here. It's different. You are running them down. We did the math earlier today. For every deer we saw, between the two of us, we walked 22 miles. That was early in the day. At the end of the day,
It's
honestly,
probably close to a
25.
marathon.
It's probably 25 miles.
So you got to run a marathon, and then you get to see a deer.
Yep.
Which is a good reward
It's a good
for
run.
something that you could go out into the Rose Garden in Virginia for.
I don't know what that means.
Essentially, you step outside your house and there's a deer there.
Okay, yeah,
Do you not know expressions?
Sorry, I'm in a box. I live in a box.
You do.
Okay,
You
I live
do.
under a rock.
And I have the vocabulary of an 18th century sailor. Not the profane one. Maybe a ship's captain.
So, anyways,
Okay,
let's get
sorry.
back to it. We spent a lot of good time out in God's nature, God's creation. It was awesome.
We were closely bordering the godforsaken country of Canada.
You know, I hope for divine intervention in their
Yeah.
country.
Praise Deum, raise hail. That's what I always said.
We've chased bucks all over this state.
Uh,
As long as it's within
I think
20
we
miles of Jackson.
averaged 10 to 15 miles per day.
Yeah. Between us, we did.
Between Luke and I,
Yeah, we did about 150 miles.
easy, yeah.
In 6 days, we put it all out there. We had a great time.
So,
It's awesome.
so what I was thinking about, and I've said this a couple of times already, Luke has a piece of land that he has permission to hunt on, that he's helping take care of and manage and doing a lot of improvements to the land. It's about, what, 450 acres? Okay, he's got cameras all over the place. He's got maybe
It's more surveilled than the White House.
6, 7 bucks that he's tracking at all times. Few of them named, but he has them like a school yearbook, pictures of them year over year. And he knows where they live, and he knows where they hang out, and he's got strategically placed tree stands all around that land, depending on what deer he's interested in hunting.
What the wind is.
That day, that year, that month, whatever it may be.
And
So he's got
successful with
So essentially, he's got like, I don't know, 4 deer that he would be happy to take and would be like a high level buck any given day for any hunter besides him, because he likes to take the cream of the crop.
And we've
The
got about,
piece de resistance.
we've got about 12 deer that most people would be pretty happy.
Okay, so keep that in mind. So 425 acres or so.
450.
450. Excuse me, 450. So one plot of the land out of what, 7 that we hunted this week?
Yep. Probably about that.
On Onyx said 41,000 acres.
That's 3 zeros followed or per.
So 3 zeros, comma, 1 4. If you're gonna write it from right to left, like a psychopath. I don't know why you started like that. Freaking idiot.
41,000.
Yes, 41,000.
0, 0, 0.
Common number, 41,000. Maybe the price of a Toyota Corolla these days.
Used.
Point being, the strategy up here is to. You're from Virginia. I'm from Virginia, but live in South Carolina. I drove 1,300 miles
Yeah. I drove
to an area where we hunted probably roughly 160,000 acres. The strategy, rather than all the cameras and the tree stands and everything like that,
Right.
is first step, hope for snow. Second step, not too much snow, not too little snow, not snow
Just
2 days ago.
the right amount.
Just right. The Dr.
Just right.
Seuss of snow. Not
No.
Dr. Seuss. The
The little Goldilocks.
Goldilocks.
Goldilocks
The 3
is-
bears.
Yeah.
The porridge, just right. You want the snow, just right. So the
It's not
tracks
just right,
aren't.
it's- You might as well stay home if it's not right.
That's right. That's what they say. That's what they say.
Just, you know what? And the locals, if it's not snowing, they're not going.
That's what they say.
I don't know
If
that's
it's
what
not
they say.
snowing, they're not going.
Those are dumb things
So
to say.
first 3 things is the snow. Then you've got 160,000 acres in literally like a 20 square mile area that we drove to, where there's a bunch of other hunters, first of all. And then the strategy is not, yeah, we know there's a bunch of deer in this area, we're going to go to this area. No. We're just going to go into the woods, and we're going to walk until we see tracks. And then you have to be smart enough to know, was this track 2 minutes ago? Was it 2 days ago? Was it 2 years ago? I don't know. Is it fossilized? Is it petrified? Or is it still steaming hot? I'm not sure, but you have to then assume that you're faster than the deer and quieter than a field mouse.
Four legs. Deer have 4 legs.
4 legs.
We have 2.
So
I don't know
you
if
will
you know
go
that.
through this situation where, okay, I'm on a deer. Turns out it's a squirrel because it ends at the bottom of the tree, and then you look up and there's a squirrel.
No, that only
That
happens
was-
to you.
Well, let's not forget that you thought a moose track was a deer. He's like,
It's gonna be
it's a
deer.
slammer. It's a giant. I'm going to follow it. I'm like, that's a moose track. We've been seeing them all week.
It was
Go follow the moose. I'm going this
It
way.
was a tiny moose. I follow tiny moose. You follow tiny
That's right.
squirrel.
Okay, so all these things, and then you're tracking the deer, you're going through, you're pushing through brush. I'm sure you've seen footage of us pushing through brush.
And then it
We-
jumps.
And then
25
it
feet off
jumps.
the cliff.
So the feet prints go from every, I don't know, 12 inches as a
Yeah.
footprint, and they're dragging
Yeah,
their
maybe
toes
2
to the
feet with
snow.
their butt.
Something scares them. Who knows? A breeze. Cowards. Turn and fight like a man. And all of a sudden, rather than 4 little footprints,
Nope, they're gone.
there's 4 footprints in the ground, and then 20 feet in the air, the next 4 footprints, and you're like, holy crap, I'm
How
up
do I catch
against
them?
a super athlete.
That's right. The Michael Jordan
Also-
creatures.
How? They don't have calves.
I don't know. They don't have calves.
They have fawns.
And
And
then,
then they also don't have calf muscles.
well, here's another
They're
point.
just all quad.
Here's another
How do you
point.
jump with no calf?
Here's another point, Andrew. Let me say this, okay? Even when you think you've done everything right and you think you're tracking a big buck, it's a small doe.
It could be a doe. Because apparently, in the Northwoods, does are 200 pounds. Luke's biggest deer is like a $120.
No, it's 165. The
Oh,
biggest deer I've ever
sure, it's a $120.
No,
He saw a doe and he thought it was the Liz doe.
the list doe.
Excuse me, the Lizzo of does.
List doe.
It was it. So I heard I jumped a deer maybe 3rd day. It sounded like a horse, like I was like, what is that? It was almost dark, so I couldn't shoot, obviously. Okay, I'm running on and on and on here. It was a really good trip. I would highly recommend it to anyone that's looking to
Take their gun for a walk.
take their gun for the walk in the woods, have it be really frosty and not really work at the end of it, never shoot a bullet, and walk 60 to 90 miles in a week
And have
in
a really amazing time.
and have a really good time with good buddies. Make a lot of good memories.
In all seriousness, it was an awesome trip.
Yeah. Would do it again
To sum it up,
in a heartbeat.
yeah, I wouldn't think about driving another 900 miles to do it again.
1,300 for me. And
We
we've
just
got
have to have managed expectations, which, to be fair,
yes.
we came into this with managed expectations.
Yes.
Our expectations and our goals, when we're sitting in the truck in Virginia, we talked about it. Before we even left Virginia, we talked about it. Our goals were one guy in a party gets a deer.
Right.
Check.
Right.
Second,
I forgot to say, one of us did get a deer.
second goal,
Jody shot a banger 4-pointer, like 163 pounds. Great,
Yeah.
great deer.
slammer. Second goal, Luke gets a moose shed.
Didn't happen.
Didn't happen.
Didn't happen.
Third goal,
We left it all out of the mountain.
we didn't have a third goal. Those were
Well,
our
if
two goals.
we're gonna have a third goal, let it be. We were gonna leave it all out on the mountain.
Check.
We definitely
Check.
did that.
No, we got back to the
Um,
truck a little early today after having left it all in the mountain.
Yeah.
We
We walked
this
to
is the
Canada, for God's sake.
This is the kind of hunting where if you shoot a buck at 4 o'clock on your last day and you're 4 miles out,
It's no longer your last day.
It's not your last day.
No, your last day is now the day after your last day,
Yeah,
and you got to figure it out for yourself.
And
Because,
yeah.
to your point, we're not in a tree stand. We're not on a farm.
Right.
We're
We're
not.
not driving
we're-
4 wheels
also,
with the truck
it's
up in
not
the truck.
really a mountain either. It's like giant, dense hills like you could never imagine. Like, it's not you're going up a mountain and there's a logging road to go up the mountain. We're working through, like, at best, like maple syrup sapline farms.
Yep.
Where there's sap lines between maple trees everywhere.
Hey,
At worst, we're going through cedar farms.
let's wrap this up.
Okay.
Let's wrap this up.
Wrap it up.
I just got a text message from Dad. Blades is alive. It is one of the top 5 best days of my life. I haven't seen a picture of Blades since October 29th. He's alive. Dad saw him driving out of the farm today. He lives. If he makes it to next year, we're talking about 160, maybe 170-inch deer. If he goes this year, he's probably in the 140s.
Still,
He's an absolute slammer.
115 pounds.
No, he's not. No.
I get it.
No, honestly, Blades would probably be my biggest bodied buck that I've ever killed. He'd probably dress. They care a lot about dress, how much a deer dresses up here. They care a lot about that. He'd probably dress 160, 170. He's a big deer. He's not like a big Maine deer, but he's an absolute Virginia hammer. And if he makes it through this year, we are talking about an absolute toad. A buck that is worth taking a month off to chase. And maybe bringing your buddies in and your brothers in. So let's get after him. If he doesn't go this year, he's going next year. Blades, may you rest in peace.
Beautiful.
Next year.
See ya.
This is Outdoor Lore. Come outside with us as Andrew, Luke, and our family and friends go outside and create memories, stories, and traditions that will be passed down for generations. Welcome to Outdoor Lore.